So here's my thoughts about Kelly's question. Thank you again for drawing our attention to this. So it's on page 11 in the syllabus, which is about the lesson plan or activity plan, the integrated unit. Page 11, we have a paragraph format. Newman Instructional Activity Plan Guidelines. On the next page, there's a grid, which houses almost all the same elements except the key vocabulary and Bloom's taxonomy were singled out. So I talked to Professor Wilkerson just now, and he said last year probably they used the paragraph format, but they also did the grid. The grid would serve as a kind of your plan for your lesson plan. I don't want you to have 2 submissions. I don't want you to produce 2 written documents for each lesson. I tend to think that it would be reasonable for you to produce a lesson according to the paragraph, the narrative format, which is easier to write and to read. And also the format would be neater or tidier. But I probably will check with the director, who is Dr. Bequet, just to make sure. Yeah.
So would the grid be more helpful as we're teaching the lesson, just to have kind of like our outline notes of what we're doing and not the
You are right.
specific?
Yes. It's easier for you to identify what is in each square or each section. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And a key vocabulary will give yourself a good idea, okay, which one should I be focused on here. And Bloom's taxonomy is like a metacognitive factor to you. So what kind of level of question should I be asking now? High level or lower level, or which domain? Yeah. If we don't have to produce a grid as a rough draft, we will not do it. If we have to, well, we are going to do it. But I really don't want you to have 2 submissions for a lesson. Does it make sense to you? Okay.
So will you email us, or which one should we do for, because we have a lesson plan due Tuesday?
Tuesday. I will get it back to you either tonight or tomorrow. I think most likely tomorrow. Yeah, I'll contact the Dr. Bequet after our class. Yeah. Well, I need to contact her is because your lesson plan will be along with the rubric will be submitted to KSDE, yeah, through task stream. Otherwise, if it's just a local process, it could be really just, I can decide it right now. Okay. So chapter 2, obviously we don't have that much time to it, like the first one. But there are, so let's do it this way. If you have already developed somehow with your something about your resource list for 0 to 6 months and 6 months to 12 months, you can bring it up on your devices, and we can ask each other. You can ask me, and I think one helpful thing is actually while you're reading this chapter, it offers you guidelines, even give you tips, and even specific equipment for you to think about and get ready with in the room, right? Yeah. It includes different kind of skills we want to develop among children. For example, well, okay, we'll just have a quick tour of this chapter. So on page 40, we have the space planning guidelines. A few bullets there with the guidelines. And then we have a greeting area, diapering, toileting areas, sleeping area, nursing area, eating area, area for experiences, and then designing spaces for each age group. starting with infants and then to toddlers and twos. The good thing about this book is that, or this chapter, is that what young infants can, for example, on page 44, what young infants can do, ways you can arrange the environment or arrangement. Yeah, so it offers very specific tips or guidelines for us to be aware of. And I scanned and copied 2 floor maps or room maps. One is for infants and the other is for toddlers and twos. The first one is on page 46 and the second one is on page 49. So I wanted you to think about other things. So first examine this room plan. Obviously there should be good ones, but you may still have some thoughts about possible adjustments to make it better, or to make it or tailor it more suitable to the environment that you are in now. Think about how many children you have there. Think about the age level. Think about your daily routines and schedule, and what else might be needed. Or some furniture or some equipment need to be replaced or relocated so that it serves your purposes better. I also want you to think about, given the resource list task, what toys, what things you want to put where on this map. So you can have each piece of this. For now, you can feel free to write. So let's just take one and let's others. Okay. So you do this one, take one and pass it around, please. Take one and pass it around, please. Yeah, feel free to write anything or to draw on this paper. Hopefully it can help you with more ideas about the resource list. And I'm sorry for our friends on Zoom, I cannot give you the handouts on paper, but it's on page 46 and 49. It's also singled out and posted on Blackboard under content, course content, or course resources. So looking at those maps, it may give you better or more thoughts about what things to have in a room. And also, selecting materials is specifically discussed from page 50. On page 51, we have very specific things mentioned. To promote, this is a very helpful chart, right? Yeah. If you still struggle with the ideas about what to have, of course you will have a lot of ideas. You have been in and around, you have seen many things. Even you just Google the pictures for early childhood centers or facilities. We can do it right now. Or you would be seeing a lot of things in the room. And many things would be common. To promote fine motor skills, to promote gross motor skills, senses or sensory development, explore shape, size, color, and balance. What do you need to have there to encourage quiet play? So what would promote there? Yeah, if you read on, if you have, and I bet many of you have. So on page 4, how to create a safe environment, how to maintain a healthy, those are practices, not really gadgets or tools you should have. So we have quite some tips in this chapter about building resource lists for your classroom. So now let's spend, not for too long, 5 minutes at most to share your thoughts with one another about what you have about the resource lists. Well, will it be helpful? Will it? If no, we can move on.
This chapter, is this kind of where we also get the information for that, the safety and play guidelines? Is that kind
I think
of
so.
what?
I think so, yeah.
That's
Well,
kind of
to
what
be
this
honest
looks
with
like,
you,
so.
I didn't read all the other chapters yet. I don't know, but you're very right.
I just saw some of that in here.
Yes, they were mentioned. Yeah,
Okay.
here. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
sorry, I was looking ahead of some of the assignments last night and was trying to figure out where we find that. And then when we read through this.
Yeah, every now and then I did that, yeah, but I didn't look so far ahead at everything. Yeah.
That was about it. So.
I was juggling among quite a few courses. Yeah, feel free. It's also free talk time. Any thoughts? Any questions about first the assignments due tonight, and then other things along the way. If you want to share it with me or with the whole group, we can do that. You can send it to me right now, and I can post it. One question from you is that, do I need to include pictures? Yes. Yeah. No pictures? It'll be boring. Well, that's secondary. Well, yeah. Well, pictures will speak very well, clearly, about the toys or the things. Yeah. And you don't have to color print it, right? It's all electronic. I said about 5 page. So the total amount of the toys or things matter. It's not really how many pages. You may, because the quantity of things on one page may vary from you to you, from computer to computer. Just make it reasonable. Again, if you go back to
bigger, so I have more than 5 pages.
Yeah, naturally. So if you look at page 51.
Yeah, mine's 15.
Like 16.
Yours
That's
is-
Yeah,
15.
that's what,
I broke it up by age group, and then they're also bigger. I mean, so you can see
Yeah.
what it is.
it's because it's the pictures too, because sometimes if you,
Yeah.
do that, it makes it bigger.
It was
Right.
interesting though. It's like look at an item and I'd be like, oh, that'll be good. Then I look at the age, like at the
Yeah.
lake shore, and it's like for older or younger. I was like, huh. So it's kind of a learning experience too, for what they think the age group would be versus what I thought.
Did we decide on how many we're supposed to have? Like, are we supposed to just have like mine, like for each like active play, I have 7. I just randomly choose 7 things that I want in
For
that.
active play.
But it's like indoor and outdoor active play section. So I looked through. I'm like, oh, that's good. Oh, I really like this. And I try to make it to where it would like. I would think about my physical environment. Well, I don't know my physical environment. I don't know how much space I'll have. But if I was, making my room, if I had that age group, I was thinking, okay, if I have the carpet, this is kind of carpet I wanted. This is what I wanted for the shelf. This is
I have to win the lottery for mine.
Yeah, so I guess my thing is to get graded. How many, to be, have, I don't know, how to say it, like a passing grade on this is like, how many items do we have to have per category? Does that make sense?
Oh, the category, do you mean the age group?
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
like
each age group.
yeah, each age group, but each
Like
section.
age of appropriate toys, how many need to be there?
Right, and if
Furniture,
we,
how many pieces need to be there? I don't have a number.
okay,
Yeah, the good and bad word would be reasonable and
Okay.
practical. Yeah.
well, I figured that 7 was reasonable for me, because I'm like, okay, well, that gives me, I don't have the same thing on there, it's something different. But like age appropriate toys, there's like tons and tons of age appropriate toys. So I'm like, I'm not gonna.
Toys in one single classroom, it could be dozens of, it could easily go beyond 100 or hundreds of.
And depending on how much
You don't have
space
to
you have.
list
It
this.
took me a month to list everything in my classroom. I mean,
Yeah.
I've had it for 17 years.
Yeah,
and
so well, we cannot just, it's not one size, not really one size fits all. It's not the word I'm searching for. I cannot give a uniform number or quantity for different things here. So of course, the quantity for toys and furniture would be different. Yeah, we can't have just 7 pieces of furniture and 7 pieces of toys.
Right.
Yeah, or 7 pieces of learning materials.
I just,
But if you could differentiate them reasonably,
Yeah.
So if they could, these toys would serve the purpose very well, and just so combine this with this.
Okay.
So if you think, all right, so they have something to promote their fine motor as well as gross motor, and then you also have some toys for example, very young children, sensory toys for them, and well, you should be good. Well, of course, their needs would vary well based on how young or how old they are. For young children, you may have more sensory toys, but for bigger children, well, because their interest moved, you may have more different kinds of toys, and that's the part that's also important, that you want to make good sense in that aspect. But really, quantity is not the primary evaluation criteria.
I was like, because, there's, like active play, indoor, outdoor, there's balls and then there's this and
Different
there's
crawling mats.
swings and I'm just like, I just picked 7 thinking, okay, if I have 7 different items on there, and then I put how many quantity I would like to have, plus the price. Like I have swings on here, and I've just put 4 swings and the price because, depending on how many kids you have, and I'm thinking you have maybe 8.
Well, you need high chairs for one group, and the other age group,
Yeah.
they can sit at the table. So.
Right. So, yeah.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
For the list, do we have to have a list for 0 to 6 months and then a list for 6 to 12 months? Because
rubric
a
you do?
lot of the items are going to be the same for both.
So do I have under both categories?
So like I have a list for 0 to 6 months right now. Do I take that list and say it's for both groups, or do I have to like take the entire page and copy it down and make a different supply list for the older infants?
Yeah, I'm definitely processing your question. Kelly, did you say you repeated some items?
A few, not a lot, but it took me like 2 to 3 hours to do mine too.
Well, can I show you what I have? Like I have the furniture on this page. And this would be to say I'm going to use this for both age groups.
Let me, because I want to bring it.
Yeah. Where are you going to say?
I don't know. Just like right here.
For any 2 age groups, probably you will say they are going to use exactly the same.
Well, some of the cubbies were like,
changing
they had,
cubbies.
but some of the changing tables look different. There was a different one for infants, and then the toddler one had like steps. So I put the different ones based on whatever age it said. So I like put 0 to 6 months, and I listed the toys, the play, the learning materials, and the supplies, and then I went down to the next age group and listed everything. But a few things overlap, but most of mine were all different.
For the overlapped
That's why I
items,
did.
do you also include them there?
If there were a few, but yeah, like I put a listening center, like a listening cabinet, in each one, because you want your music and your radio and that kind of thing, so things like that. But
I duplicated like my cribs and like
cots
high
for the older
chairs,
kids.
or I've just done up through the 12 months, so those 2 groups. But like rockers or things that you would use in both, I didn't do different.
That's what I'm asking. Like I'm doing 0 to 6 months and then 6 to 12 months right now. And so like they're both gonna need like a communication center. They're both gonna need cubbies. They're both gonna need rockers. They're both gonna need
one of
cribs.
those things over. Yeah, I entered on each section.
How would I be able to tell easily these are the same items?
You'll see. Well,
That's what I'm asking.
you'll just rate.
Instead of just
Well, you
counting one by one.
You would rate the 0 through 6 though.
Let's do
6
it cross
months section. And then the 6 to 12 month section, you would see what I have there.
Mhm.
And then you would see, yeah, for each one.
Mine are separate. I've got one for the 0 to 6, one for the 6 to 12. There's just some things that are on this page that are on this page. So you'll see them separately.
But are they on the same document?
It's continuous. So the 6 to 12, or the 0 to 6 is first, and the 6 to 12,
Yeah.
but they're titled separate.
Yeah, that's what we want. I think you're all doing that, right? Yeah.
I just did mine like what we did last year, and it's, I mean, the same format, and it was okay then, so.
I didn't do it last year.
That's why I'm saying that's what I went off of for mine, because I know we did it as a group, so.
Yeah, any questions from outreach? Did you hear our conversation? Okay.
I could hear it all, but I'm afraid I didn't put near as much effort into it as everybody else did. We'll see.
You're okay.
I don't want to believe what you said.
Will you look at what I turned in and see if that's what you want? Like I already turned it into Blackboard. Can you look at it and see if that looks fine?
You don't mind me hanging it up in the classroom now?
It doesn't matter to me. I don't care.
Okay. Since nobody's graded yet, and so I can go there. Resource list.
Another thing, the checklist of the guidelines.
By the way, I'm going to post more assignments there, set up the folder there for next week and later. Resource list. Oh, okay.
That's all I've done so far. Now I'm gonna have to switch it up.
So Melissa, if you don't mind, we'll use yours as an example to comment on a critique.
Is that what you're wanting? Does it look like what you're asking for?
Let's see.
I just copied and pasted these. I found which ones it meant, but I have a paper copy.
So toys and learning materials.
I have most of mine out.
So one thing is that probably since toys and learning materials are two separate items in a rubric, you may want to separate them. I mean, what do you think?
I already submitted.
Don't they,
Not like that.
don't they overlap though? Like, can't you use those toys as learning materials? That's why I put them together.
I mean,
That's a very good
they
point.
learn when they play. So.
Well, and you can, like, the balls and things, here's a red ball. I know that 0 to 6, but just talking to them. Or if you want them separate, I can separate them, but that was my thought on putting them together.
We didn't have to last year.
But I'm sorry.
We didn't have to separate them that specific. We just had to have what we needed for a classroom for this age group. What do we need for the classroom for this?
Oh, you don't have to separate
so as long as all 5 of those are on there. Like I had furniture, I had active play, I had toys, I had learning materials and supplies for 0 through 6 months on that page.
But you still you identify the headings or the items or what they are, right? And so
Well, they
just
say
like,
what they are, but
just like what. Okay, all right. Just like what Melissa did, she gave a name. So these are the toys and learning materials. and then
And if so, I need to-
furniture.
I don't know how to do
Storage. Activity play. All right. Is that similar to what you did last year?
We just listed things like that for the age groups, yeah.
You even didn't identify
No, we were
the
not that,
names?
we were not that specific. And even the example that was given to us is
Right.
not that specific at all.
Yeah, right. You're right. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that's
has
what
no
I-
subtitles.
Yeah, that's what I went off of, was that example, because it was like what we did last year, but it does not specify if it's a class, if it's an active play. It doesn't specify if it's a toy, because you can pretty much tell looking at it what it is.
If you give it a name, I mean, at least what I felt now is that if you give it a name, it'll be easier for me to see, okay, you have this, and just check it. Otherwise, I'll have to think. So from the pile, although it's a neat pile, to find, oh, this would be furniture, these are supply and storage, this is for active play. Does it make sense to you?
So you would like us to do subtitles for?
Would it be easy for you to categorize them?
How do I unsubmit something I already turned in?
Yes.
You just do another submission.
Just resubmit it?
Yeah.
I spent so much time on this already. I'm just.
I was still discussing. I'm discussing with you. I'm open to any ideas. You know, I mean flexibility.
I mean, I understand your point, but if you're giving us a sample and we did what that is, then in my opinion, then that's okay. You know, I mean, it's like
Yeah.
saying, here's what you should do, but don't do that. I don't know. I guess the rubric's not specific enough,
Right. Yeah.
but I did it like I did last year and got an A, so I don't know, whatever you want us to do.
Even without your counter argument, I wanted to say that. So I'm open to either way.
I just made sure for each age group I had everything.
Yes.
I mean, and most of it does go in order. Some of it just depended on where it cut and paste with my columns.
So just imagine your room. What needs to be there? Yeah. I mean, reasonable and practical. Practical again. We are not reading this chapter for nothing. So we have to find out these skills that we need to develop among our children, and we also have those requirements here. So if you are sure these pieces, these elements are there, you can just display the items on a page. I don't think you would just make it so chaotic that there's no way to make it really chaotic. They would just be in rows or columns, and then you go on to another age group, right? It doesn't look bad at all. Even the example, it doesn't have the specific categories, but it doesn't look bad at all, right? Yeah, we just need the stuff there. So you don't have to worry too much about that. Just to make sure, what we need to pay attention to is that we want to have enough, of the essential supplies there. Yeah. So how many pages are yours? Melissa, how many pages are yours?
I don't. I think it was like 10, maybe.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And then back to that other. I don't know names, but on the 6 to 12-month-old at the top, I just put I would like to have all of the stuff that I had for the babies also, but then I added on because the kids get older.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
So
okay?
how did you do it? Did you just copy and paste the same items again, or?
I just wrote at the top that I would like all of the, because they're all in that same document, that I want all of the items above.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Is that okay, or?
Yours also. That works. Yeah. That actually saves my time to looking at those wonderful pictures again. I'm wondering, are they the same? I may have seen it before.
And I didn't list, like, if it was just one toy, I put that toy, but if I needed like 3 or 4 of it, then I put that in parentheses, that I would
Yeah,
need
yeah,
one
of
at
course.
the table and one high chair and one.
Of course, yes.
Dr. Wen,
Yes, ma'am.
you could just apply my A to this project.
So, yeah,
Sounds
you
like
have
a
to
good
submit
deal to me.
anything after all.
Just mail him the Lakeshore catalog and say, I want it all.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
So, like I said, if you did it, I mean, in a different way, for example, Kelly did, you probably just show the picture and the information of the same items in the other category again, age bracket again. That's fine too. Yeah. It's just will make your document longer, but you also included different items in that. I'll read
It was
them.
just a few things that overlapped, like the cribs or the big furniture stuff.
Yeah. If you want to save the space, and you can just illustrate it like Melissa did, I would include all of the stuff there. And so I would know what I will be seeing here would be all the added or new things here. Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't expect this to be a very a daunting task.
It is, yes. We did it as a group last year.
To find a picture, find a price.
We
Well, the
divided up
quantity
the
maybe
sections.
it's not too hard for you to decide. Right, 1, 2, or 3. Yeah.
We did, yeah, we had class time too.
It's a
so we
fun
did it.
project because you feel like, oh, I can have this, oh, I can have that, you know. It's just,
Yeah,
it's
we
cool to
did it
shopping,
fast.
but it's just fun.
Yeah, all right. Don't spend too much money.
We already did.
Yeah.
That's why I said I don't want to change anything else.
Hard, but it's a lot of time.
It's just, yeah.
It's
I'm
not
just-
hard, but it's probably one of the easiest things we'll do, but it's a lot.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna help. Yeah. Neat to see the neat.
I don't want it to be just a copy and pasting, and spending your time that way. No, I don't want you to do that. If you have to do that, you just narrate it, say it, the word in a few lines, right? Then you may work with KSE. Yeah.
How do I read? Only because I missed one of these. How do I submit it again?
You just drop it in the box again, don't you?
Yeah.
I've never read that many.
Well, I just, yeah, where's the, because I already have one in there, so that's all that comes up is what I already.
You go in and click on it and delete that one and then drop a new one
No,
in.
it has up to 3. It'll have up to 3 of the assignments at once in that box. Should be a submit button down at the bottom where you can browse. If you go back, Dr. Lee, so that you can go back, you can show off that one.
I probably need to show the student, use the student view. So that will be the same as yours. Yours probably you still go to here to submit an assignment. And let's go to, let's see. So now it looks like yours. And then you can just submit it. And if you have already submitted, and I have, in a setting, I allow you to do multiple submission. Even if I don't, you can still resubmit it. Yeah, it will show as a few smileys. Yeah. So how many smileys would represent how many submissions you have done. I'll just look at the last one. Yeah.
If you've already put one in though, I don't get that.
That screen's not coming up for her.
It just shows the one that I've already submitted. It doesn't give me the option to put another one.
And you can do nothing about it. You cannot take it off or. Okay, let me back out of students preview and go to the editing. Okay. Resource list. Not this one.
I did my whole one, like, so I submitted it as one document, because it is, I just sat down and did all 4. I did
All 4? Okay.
Yeah, so mine is like 0 to 6, 6 to 12, 12 to 24, and 24 to 36. That might be why it took me so long, because I did the whole thing, but I want to just do something all the way done.
It'll work. I can make it work for you. Submission details. It's only that you may want to submit the same document to another folder again. Say I'll have another folder for the for the other 2 age levels, and then you submit the same document again. I'll give you another grade there.
But it's not.
But the maximum grade here is only 50 points.
For both?
For both. So 25 for each.
Yeah, because this says 50 possible.
Yes, but so you need to make another submission to another folder. Does it make sense?
Yeah, but there's nowhere to submit it.
Yeah, I didn't set it up yet.
Well, I mean, I
will do it very soon, very, very soon.
Well, this shows all 50 points. Then. Okay, I don't know.
Single attempt, let's make it multiple. Unlimited. How about that? Just make it unlimited.
I think I'm confused now. I didn't know we were supposed to only do 2 sections. So I did all 4 and submitted it. So is that okay?
I mean, it shows the whole assignment.
Or are we not supposed to do all 4 sections? Holy cow.
Yeah, you are supposed to do all the 4 sections, all the levels, from 0 all the way to 2 years old. But
okay, so then, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I divided up because of the workload, so I'm thinking of you. If we have all the 4 due for one thing, it might be a little bit too much at the beginning. And also, I want you to experiment it with the first set so that you may have some better ideas when you develop the last 2 sets. That's my rationale. But sounds like you just feel ready and you just want to get it done at one time. So George is nodding his head, obviously. All right. I think either mindset will work, and I can make it work. Like Kelly, you just want to get the work done, and quite a few of you wanted to do it. So if you did, you can submit the same document if you don't want to separate it.
Okay. Oh wait.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you have to give me something. It's easy for me to do it. I can even do it right now. So there will be another folder for 12 to 24 months and 24 to 36 months. Yeah. So you can submit the other half, or you can submit the same document again there. Did I answer a question, Carrie?
Yes, I just think my brain hurts right now. I'm so confused. But I think I have what I'm supposed to have, and so I think I'll just wait until I get the feedback from you, and then if I need any changes for the last 2 developmental stages, then I can go ahead and do that. Correct?
I think what you were saying is that you did the same thing like Kelly did. You developed all the resources.
I did all of them. Yeah.
All of them.
I didn't know we were only supposed to do half of it.
But you divided up according to the ages, right? So you're
right.
good.
They're all divided up into 4 different groups.
Yeah. The only thing is that you finished your work earlier or faster.
Okay.
It's not a problem at all. Yeah. Yeah. So you can submit the same document twice, because we have some people who like to separate it instead of having everything about this assignment due at one time. I don't want to see you in stress.
Yeah, too late.
Well, then tell me. Let me know what is still stressing you or bothering you.
I just know this assignment took me a long time.
What about it?
And I don't feel like, well, just finding, most of the stuff I got on one website, so just getting it and then copying and pasting it, and I organized it by category, like on the rubric. So I did that too.
Oh.
But I mean, I spent hours on it, and I felt like, I don't know,
Everybody's gonna be different.
what am I gonna get out of this? Yeah.
Agreed.
Well, no, I know that. That's why I did it.
Well,
But on different
that's superficial.
We already have our job.
Yeah, I mean, the points are superficial, yes. I mean, the rationale for this assignment is for you to have a good knowledge about the resources you need to have in the room. Well, many of you would be thinking, I'm already working here for years and years, I know it.
That's probably why I did obtain this.
But, well, so did you think, well, you found something new that I didn't have before, I never had, it didn't occur?
Not really.
Okay.
No, just the new things out that weren't there when our kids were babies. That's the-
Right, yeah, that's true.
And there's other, like, you know that there are lakes where there's, was it Caitlin or something like that.
Yeah, so we didn't get to watch the video, but it's always there. I'm ready with that, and next time we can watch it if possible. So any other questions? Yeah, I'll have photos ready on Blackboard very soon. Yeah, Kira?
Yeah. Is this the resource list?
It looks like a resource list, yes.
Okay, I just wanted to double check.
Okay, so there is some naming confusion, yeah. Understandably, yeah. If any individual still has a question, I can stay and we can talk either in the room or online. Otherwise, we'll call it a day. Yeah. Take a good breath so your brain went off for too badly. All right, thank you very much, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.